That's it, folks. Let's get to it. Welcome, everyone. If whoever's there or not there. Yeah, let's go back to Ronald and give him his slingshot back. Head side. Back here. Where's Ronald? Let's give Ronald his slingshot. There he is.
I'll let him play for now. Matt.
What?
Here's your slingshot back.
Really? Thanks.
You're welcome, but you should put Constable Oliver on the list of people who'd better not see it.
I understand. Don't worry, I'll be careful.
Nice.
Good man.
Let's get back into Legrand's quarters. Inside, downstairs, in the quarters. We need his evidence, like his forensic gear. Oh, okay, let's have a look. Let's have a peek, let's have a look.
Neatly folded and unused. Legrand hasn't slept since we cast off, nor on the train.
He needs to get good and sleep.
A lock master and son. Tough to crack. If I wanted to steal the eye, I'd concentrate on getting the 3 keys. If everything goes according to plan, the first time this monster is opened will be in the museum in Cairo. Fingers crossed.
Nice.
Legrand must have taken and developed the photos himself. He even made copies and enlargements. He seems to be prepared for everything, with access to more resources than a normal detective. Another alarm. It was tripped at some point, but there's no way to determine when.
Okay. Let's check.
Smells like chemicals. Legrand probably developed the photos in here. Aha! That's the bullet the doctor removed from the Baroness's corpse. This is the pipe from the cargo hold. Legrand seems to have inspected it for fingerprints. I can still make out the powder. No. Nothing to see on the end of the pipe that the attacker held. Either he wore gloves, or he cleaned the pipe. Legrand's file on the Raven, centimeters thick, but totally useless. We're not dealing with the Raven. Why can't he see that? Our man is ruthless, a bomber, and quite probably a murderer.
Hey, thanks for the follow. Dankeschön, thanks for the follow.
This file belongs in a museum. It's history. The inspector should concentrate on the
follow.
present.
Hey, Keanu, welcome, buddy. Woohoo, Vortex. Thanks very much for the follow. How you doing, guys?
There's nothing written on the bottle. I suppose it's some sort of stimulant, legal or not. Legrand has been awake for at least 30 hours straight, maybe more.
Nice chilled detective game for Sunday.
I shudder to think what kind of side effects this stuff might have. A policeman on a murder investigation
what's
should
new?
have his wits
Not
about
much,
him.
really.
The risk that he could miss evidence or endanger himself and others is too high.
Anything else? Bullets. Okay. Also, this is a blind playthrough. I've never played this game before. I think that's it. Let's have a look.
A masterpiece. Forensic teams use kits like these. They're placing increasing importance on the preservation of evidence. But not in Switzerland yet. It's a small lab used to conduct simple analysis on site. Legrand must have taken them yesterday at the crime scene.
Her on the right side, she was shot yesterday. So basically the Raven, which this game's all about, is we have to figure out, he's basically a thief, but which nobody caught. But the lead detective, which is not this guy, believes he got him, but I think it's a copycat.
A rough diagram of the ship. Legrand marked the Baroness's cabin. Seems like he didn't turn up anything else of note. Shot in her sleep. She didn't feel a thing. She went to sleep and never woke up. Yes, that's how we found her yesterday, I think. I wasn't really myself at the time. Yes. The bed, the blood spot. The spot on the sheet is much bigger than the one on the mattress. There's blood on the blanket as well. A lot of blood, I'd say. No. Nothing suspicious. The blanket and the sheet are gone. I guess they're in the medical center.
I do like the Sherlock Holmes games, but I've streamed the Jack the Ripper one, and I streamed the latest one, 2017 I think, 2018, I think it was 2017 it came out.
This photo provides an overview of the crime scene.
I like to play quite a variety, so my next game would be completely different. It'll probably be like some sort of first-person shooter. I think that's it.
All right, what have we got here?
Need to play the third one. Which is the third one? So you've got Crimes and Punishment, which is the one before it. And then you got Nemesis, Jack the Ripper. What else? I can't remember. Devil's Daughter, that's the one. That's the one I beat last year. I streamed that one from the PS4. But yeah, good game. I like them. They're good games.
Half of the tools in this box would be interesting for an archaeologist as well. Actually, forensics and archaeology are really quite similar to each other. The goal is to find out what happened, whether a few hours ago or a few centuries ago. Good Lord. Good Lord.
Good Lord.
What's this? Oh, how practical. A hermetically sealed cotton swab for collecting samples. I'll take it. A small glass bowl for mixing chemicals. A small glass... Good Lord. Fingerprints are overrated. Smart thieves wear gloves, or they make sure that there are too many fingerprints at the crime scene to check them all. For forensics in the woods or the open country, I suppose. No use on a ship.
The only thing sometimes with these games is it's not very straightforward what you have to do next. Oh, here we go.
Aha! This is some kind of inventory list. For each chemical, it lists the chemical composition and a short comment on how to use it. And here's a list of the most important procedures. Fingerprints, gunshot residue, blood. I don't have to analyze the pillow and feathers to determine whether there's gunshot residue. I can smell it. And I don't have any other clues at the moment. The booklet will be useful once I have something to analyze.
I think I need to analyse where that lady was shot.
There are still fragments of the syringe that the inspector broke in the sink. Why is he pushing himself like this? Even if he catches the Raven, is it worth ruining his career and his health?
Not really, but I agree. This guy here is just he's just a constable. The first part of this game began on a train, and he was the police officer just on the train. But he didn't know there was an inspector guarding like a jewel that was in transit. I think that's it. Cotton swabs. I think that's it. So let's go to the bed where she was shot. I think this is what I have to do. I think. So it's this way.
The unusual all cats are gray. I always wanted to do that. That should be enough.
I got a feeling that's not actually blood. It looks like blood, but it isn't. Anything else I missed? I think that's it. So I guess the plan is just to analyze the swap. I think that's it. Hopefully this works. So let's go here. Just checking a walkthrough guide to make sure I'm on the right path. Okay. Supposed to use the magnifying glass. Oh, here we go. With the bullets.
A microscope. Looks like the one that Lutz Reichinger uses in his pharmacy, just more modern.
Here we go.
Okay. I need the second bullet for a comparison.
You've got it. It's like here. Stupid guy.
All right.
Here we go. This one bullet was found in the person. Hey, Ratsy, welcome. And the second bullet was found in the cargo hold in like a crate. Yeah, hello rats. Hello. Oh. I guess I have to match them, I think. Can't move this. I think that's what I have to do is I can't move this. I guess it's just the one on the right. How you doing? Rats and welcome. Heat v heat. Yeah, sorry about that. I have to send you some of the British cool air melting. Yeah, I think Croc is the same. But when does it get cooler then? Or if it...
That's the proof. Whoever shot the Baroness also fired the shot in the cargo hold. What could that mean?
Nice. Yeah, when's the coldest part of the year? December. Yeah, I think ours is like February. A bit. Yeah, it must be so. It must be so different because we have 4 seasons, and probably Kino's the same North America, you have your 4 seasons. Hot and hotter. Yeah. So what temperature do you have right now? Okay.
Wasn't there something about blood samples? Fingerprints, gunshot residue, blood. Well, it explains how to confirm that something is blood.
26
That's the
feels
start.
like 35.
You have to mix
Sorry about
luminol
that.
and a hydrogen peroxide solution and then drip or spray the mixture on the blood. The solution turns blue and glows even if there's just a very small amount of blood. Okay then, luminol and hydrogen peroxide.
Okay.
A small...
So luminol.
Aha! Luminol.
Hydrogen peroxide.
And there's the hydrogen peroxide.
Nice.
I'll mix it with the luminol in the bowl.
Normally, like in a
Okay. I
Sherlock
can
Holmes
detect
game.
blood with this mixture. The clear solution turns blue if it comes into contact with blood.
Like this type of thing in a Sherlock Holmes game, it's way more complicated because it'll give you access to all of them, and you have to figure out how much to mix together. And you'll probably take maybe 3 or 4.
Okay, I'm filling
Different
the
ingredients.
pipette and putting it down very carefully.
Okay.
So, let's see what we have here. No blood. Not the slightest reaction.
Thought so.
If I didn't make a mistake, and it wasn't that difficult, then the spot on the Baroness's bed isn't really blood. But if it isn't blood, what is it? And more importantly, why didn't Dr. Gebhardt notice anything? He
Gebhardt
was
is
supposed to
shady.
have examined everything. I'd say it's time to visit the medical center.
Nice. At least we know what we have to do. You are smart. Not really. There's only like 2 ingredients I could pick. So let's go next door. I think that Dr. Gebhardt's super shady. You can't take a compliment, never.
It seems impossible that Dr.
Thanks,
Gebhardt
Vance.
could have shot the Baroness. He was with me when the gunshot ran out, but he must have noticed that the Baroness was lying in a pool of fake blood. Maybe he's covering for someone. Let's find out.
Thanks, I do appreciate it. Yes. Let's have a look.
I guess the trash bin is in here. Right. Paper towels, plastic packaging, cartons, and... Hold on. What's this? A burst rubber glove. It's knotted, and there's a red liquid all over the inside that looks like blood. I bet good money that it's the
Okay, Vance.
same fake blood I found in the Baroness's cabin. The sink looks like it's been cleaned recently. I can't say whether it was cleaned to comply with the hygiene regulations or whether there was another reason. A tape recorder from Sibling. Interesting. The reel in the Baroness's cabin is from the same company.
It's weird.
A microphone was plugged into the tape recorder. Maybe Dr. Gebhardt records the results of his examinations and writes them down later. The player is rather basic. Simple, sturdy, practical. The player is... Interesting. A tape
another
and
reel.
a reel. The reel belongs to a much better player, like the one from the Baroness's cabin. I can't be certain that this is the reel that was missing from the Baroness's cabin, but it seems quite likely.
Doctor's so shady.
Okay. Nothing. Strange. There. Very interesting. It's probably for emergencies, in case a passenger falls down and can't walk anymore. Possibly due to rough seas, or maybe the captain's well-stocked bar.
So I think this doctor's doing
Dr.
it. It's kind of a
Gebhardt will have
conspiracy.
trouble explaining how rubber gloves full of fake blood got into his trash bin. First, the fake blood he missed in the Baroness's cabin, and now this. It doesn't look good for you, Doctor. That's proof enough for me that the Doctor is involved in this. I should report to Legrand.
Yeah. Anything else?
A shot is audible on the tape, and the reel comes from the Baroness's cabin. It's all coming into focus. Time to pay Legrand a visit. No! No, no, don't!
Oh. Hey, Dave, guten Tag. Medeloid there. Welcome, Dave. Oh. Masterly, nice. Chapter 1 complete. Oof. How you doing, Dave? What the hell?
Why couldn't you just leave it be? Let me go. Why are you doing this to me? You and the Baroness. Dr. Gebhardt, I don't know. Don't you understand what you are forcing me to do? You don't have to.
So what am I supposed to
It is
do?
almost over. You won't feel a thing. I am sorry you have to see all this.
Yeah, I'm not too bad, thanks. Not too bad, thank you. Thanks for asking. guess I have to break out.
All ready. Enough of that, Mr. Zerna.
Wonder if you can actually die in this
It will
section.
all be behind you.
Hey, welcome back, rats.
I am sorry you have to see all this. I should have used more chloroform. I have to distract him. Chloroform? I had it in my bag, just in case.
I guess I have to distract him and break
You are
out.
supposed to be asleep. I am not a monster, you know? I have nothing against you. Nothing at all. But what can I do? You forced my hand. It's your fault. Yours alone. Keep talking. Why? Why? Why did the Baroness have to snoop around? Why did you have to snoop around? And that glove there. You want to plant evidence on me, yeah? I left no evidence. There is no trail. And yet you can't just leave me in peace, can you?
Come on, quick. He's got it.
And
I think that's
what
it.
next? Heart failure happens a lot at your age, especially given your background. I am still considering whether I should throw you overboard. Don't leave evidence. No evidence. But what if I'm seen? My plan was perfect.
Yeah, it was chloroform rats, I think.
Everything.
He's got the scissors, I think. That worked well, didn't it? Yeah, we had chloroform.
Take it easy, Mr. Zellner. You will only hurt yourself. Shall we begin? No, please. It's almost over.
I guess I screwed something up.
Take it easy. Shall
There we go.
It's almost over. I will.
Nice. Yeah, I think I got it. It's hard to see because of the effect. Nice, GG. Thanks, Vats.
Thanks.
A wet towel works miracles. I told you so.
Out with it then. What were you doing down there?
Inspector, at least let the constable recover his breath.
He almost killed himself.
Me? No. Dr. Gebhardt would have taken care of that for me. Where is he?
Gebhardt is vanished without a trace. We're searching the ship from top to bottom.
One at a time. Tell me, Zelna, what did you find out?
Dr. Gebhardt killed Baroness von Trebitz.
Impossible.
Do you have proof?
Besides the fact that he wanted to kill me?
But wasn't the doctor with you when the shot was fired?
Yeah, because the gunshot we heard wasn't the one that killed her.
The shot that we heard was a recording. The Baroness had a tape recorder and good speakers in her cabin.
There you go.
Good enough to make the noise audible on the upper deck.
Is that just your suspicion, or do you have proof?
There's an audio tape in the medical center. The reel belongs to the tape player in the Baroness's cabin. And there's a sibling reel in her cabin that belongs to the recorder in the medical center. He recorded it in the cargo hold. His tape recorder has a microphone, and I removed a bullet from one of the boxes down there.
And it came from the murder weapon?
All right.
Inspector Legrand.
Let's pretend you're onto something. The shot we heard was just a recording. What happened next?
We all ran to the Baroness's cabin. She lay comatose in a pool of blood. Dr. Gebhardt pushed past you so that you couldn't get too close to the Baroness. He examined her and pronounced her dead. There was no reason for us to doubt him. The shot, the blood, the Baroness lying there lifelessly. But she was only unconscious, knocked out by the chloral hydrate that the doctor had poured into her glass shortly before.
The doctor had a glass in his hand when you came in.
He wanted to remove the evidence, but you gave me the glass instead, Captain DeConti, and unintentionally knocked me out as well.
Nonsense. There was blood everywhere. And the
Hey,
Baroness is
Shinj,
certainly dead
welcome.
enough, isn't she?
Yep, those
Then who did
eyes.
shoot her?
Welcome.
And when?
As I already said, it was Dr. Gebhardt. He shot the sleeping Baroness in her cabin, barely 10 meters away from us.
What are you saying?
The doctor was alone in the cabin for a while. When the alarm went off, it was deafening. I couldn't even hear myself.
And I found a pillow with burn marks. Could have been used to muffle a gunshot.
And the blood?
The blood wasn't real. Dr. Gebhardt mixed up a liquid that looked like fresh blood to the casual observer, but the liquid remained red instead of becoming darker and browner from exposure to the air. That meant he had to clean the body and get rid of the bedding.
But the blood was already there when we first entered the cabin.
Dr. Gebhardt was in the Baroness's cabin before the murder. He hid a surgical glove full of the red liquid under her sheet. The Baroness, dead tired, fell onto her bed. The glove burst and the blood spread across the bed. I found the burst glove in the medical center.
But why did he do it? What was his motive?
Inspector?
I can only speculate. The Baroness spent the day rummaging through her old family photos.
No, no, no.
Do you have anything to contribute, Constable?
Confession, sir. Dr. Gebhardt was the Raven. It's all here. He admits to everything.
What does it say?
It says, "Do you still remember, my dear Nico? The streets were wet with rain, and the scent of roasted barley and fermenting yeast wafted over to us from the brewery. A dog barked until your shot struck down the innocent one. After that silence, not a single sound, except for my soft steps fading on the wet cobblestone street. They made a hero of you, and I, at last, found peace. At least until the urge returned. Some of us are not made for retirement, my friend. I thought they would assign this case to you, and that thought pleased me. We'd finally find out who was truly the better man. And it pains me now to have to admit that you and your little gumshoe got the better of me. You drove me into a corner, forced me to make mistakes. I congratulate you on your triumph, but no one will confine the Raven to a cage. There is but one way out, and that is by my own hand. Farewell, Raven Hunter R.
Nice. What a cutscene.
Inspector Legrand.
Okay, Shinj.
Inspector?
I was right. I told them all, over and over again. But no one would listen.
You think that Dr. Gebhardt was really the Raven?
The things Gebhardt describes in his letter aren't part of any police report. Only someone who was there will know them.
Couldn't there have been others involved? One of the police, for instance. What if one of them changed sides?
Why is it so hard for you to accept the simple truth? There was never a new Raven. There was only ever the old one. And that was Dr. Gebhardt.
The modus operandi doesn't match. The Raven was not a killer.
Legends are rarely what they seem to be, Constable Zellner.
Then who was the man who was killed back then?
William Jackson, a petty thief, committed some burglaries together with his brother. Talented, but not world-class.
And they thought he was the Raven.
Some people thought it was part of his disguise. If you're a debonair master thief, what better disguise than pretending to be a common crook? From time to time you let them catch you pulling small jobs, and no one ever imagines you're capable of a major heist.
But you didn't believe it.
I had my doubts, but everyone congratulated me, and those doubts were pushed aside. It was like being caught in a storm, but eventually the storm passed and my doubts were still there.
But not this time? No doubts telling you that Gebhardt isn't our man?
It must be him.
What about the handwriting, the wording? Does the farewell letter match the Raven's other letters?
Yes, it's his handwriting, his words. I've read all the Raven's letters, all of them, over and over again.
I never thought it was possible. A resurrected Raven.
The Raven was never dead. I shot the wrong man.
But that man had the stolen goods, didn't he? So he must have been in league with the Raven. One could hardly call him innocent. Where do we go from here?
We deliver the eye and then I'll contact Paris. A task force will compare all of Gephardt's known residences with the Raven's activity.
And if there are any inconsistencies?
You're welcome to keep an eye on the safe if you can't let it go. The ship will remain in Cairo for one day. That's all the time you'll have to catch your own Raven. I already have mine.
Nice. New section.
You're one
Nice.
of Legrand's men, aren't you?
My name is Anton Jakob Zellner.
You've come just in time.
Hey, Shinj, take
Christ,
care, buddy.
My dachshund is missing.
There may be more important matters for me to attend to, Mr.
Director Abbas Mokhtar. And Grace isn't just a common dog. She's a purebred German dachshund, a champion.
So, the exhibition will still open tonight.
But of course, everything has been arranged. The final preparations are almost complete.
But one of the two exhibits won't be there.
A terrible loss, a tragedy. That irreplaceable Egyptian cultural treasure has been stolen for the second time.
The second time?
What? Did you really believe that the Eye of the Sphinx was found lying on the banks of the Thames?
I'll have a look around in the meantime.
Do you think that's necessary? The Raven is dead, after all.
If you mean Dr. Gebhardt, his body was never recovered. Nor the stolen eye of the Sphinx, for that matter.
It does us a great honor that the Inspector is concerned about us. But we have everything under control.
Legrand isn't as concerned as he should be. But I am. Is the museum closed?
Yes. Only carefully selected guests may enter the museum during preparations for the gala. And of course, you're one of them, Mr. Constable.
What can you tell me about the museum's security system?
One of the best on the market. And the second eye will still be exhibited in our special treasure chamber, which is extra secure.
Treasure chamber?
See for yourself, to the right of the entrance. The eye is as safe as the British Crown jewels.
Hey, Connor, welcome. Mr. Ducky. How you doing, Connor? Slaughter.
I think I'll have a look around the museum.
Please do. There's a lot to see. And you'll let me know if you see Grace, won't you? I hope we find her before the great Inspector arrives. Isn't it fantastic how he solved the murder on the ship?
Legrand?
Of course. It's in all the newspapers. The murder of the wealthy Baroness von Trebitz, and how the great Inspector Legrand identified the murderer in just one
The constable
day.
did?
It's the stuff legends are made of. You should
Such
count
BS.
yourself lucky to have the chance to learn from him.
What exactly do the newspapers say?
Everything. It's fantastic. Someone on board must have informed the press immediately. Of course, it's a great advertising for us. The reporters will queue up tonight.
And it was reported that Legrand found the murderer.
Who's
Of
Connor?
course.
I wonder
Who
who.
else?
I wonder who.
Well,
Okay.
I wasn't exactly uninvolved.
Of course. Legrand surely has assistants. But honor to he who deserves to be honored. Right?
Well then,
Be seeing you, Constable. Grace! Here, Gracie. My sweetheart. Where are you?
Mr. Inch.
Mr. Inch. There you are. I am so sorry. Baroness von Trebitz was a good-hearted woman. She did so much for the museum.
As you say, sir.
And you? Are you leaving so soon?
I'd like to go back to my hotel. These last days have been such a strain.
First, you sneak into the museum without greeting me, and then you want to leave just as quickly?
I didn't want to disturb you, and we'll have time enough tonight.
Yes, you simply must come tonight. I wanted to present Baroness von Trebitz with a medal. Now you'll have to accept it.
Of course, if you insist, sir.
The Baroness paid for all this. Without her, there wouldn't have been an exhibition or a gala.
She was very generous.
Yes, she was.
If you'll excuse me now. Constable Zellner, I want to thank you again for all you've done. You saved me, you could say.
My pleasure. See you tonight.
Mr. Inch, I didn't know Phantom was in this game. Well, that's one way of putting it. Yeah, it is rats, yeah. Of course. Ducky. Speak to Miss Miller.
Miss Miller, I'm glad to see you here.
Oh, Constable Zellner. I heard what happened to you on board. Awful. Truly awful.
All's well that ends well. You are waiting for Professor Lucien?
Mm-hmm.
Tomorrow you'll be sailing down the Nile, if I heard correctly.
That's right. I'm sure it will be an amazing experience.
But you don't seem to
Oh,
be very
so that's you,
excited.
Kev. Oh, welcome.
But I am.
I thought
It's
Ducky
very
Ducky would have
generous
been
of Lady Westmacott
Connor.
to invite me, and especially Maddie.
It's always a
He'll
pain when
learn a
people
lot.
use different names.
But
Well, Professor Lucien offered to
Welcome,
join
Kev. I
us.
haven't seen you
then
for a while.
Matt will learn even more. And I'm sure it won't
Also,
be
where's
unpleasant
tip
for
of the
you
day?
either.
No, I just don't know how Maddie would react if Edgar came with us.
I understand. I could test the water to see how he'd feel about it.
Would you do that? Oh, thank you, Constable Zellner.
Here he is, Strongbow. Hey. Welcome, Mr. S. Bet.
Were you able to find out why Professor Lucien left the forecastle so suddenly last night?
No, not really. We only had a brief conversation. He was still very nervous.
He was like that on the train as well. Seems to be typical of him.
It must be something to do with the burglary at the museum. It really affected him. But he told me not to worry about anything. He said, soon this would all be over.
Really? How did he mean that?
Oh, I didn't ask him, Constable.
Are there other passengers from the ship here?
Oh, yes, we arrived as a group. David Kreutzer, the violinist, was with us. So were Miss Myers and Mr. Inch. He seems to have gotten over the death of the Baroness pretty quickly. He seems positively relaxed.
I've met him. He looks on the bright side of life, so to speak. Where is Mr. Kreutzer?
He's over in the treasure chamber. Maddie is downstairs in the main hall. I'm afraid I'll hear the sound of something priceless shattering any second.
Matt will be careful, Miss Miller. I'll continue my tour of the museum.
Oh, yes, there's so much to see.
Yes, it's good to see all you guys here on a Sunday.
Locked.
Tricky Ducky. Yeah, it's the same. People use different names. It's hard to keep track because Ducky Ducky would have been a name that obviously Connor would have used.
The door is closed if the guard room isn't occupied. That makes sense. Though I would have expected the guard room to be occupied all the time, especially on a day like today.
Let's go this way. Yeah, Connor's alright. Don't know where he's though. There's that other shady fella. Why is he playing his violin there? He doesn't even work there.
Mr. Kreutzer will provide the background music tonight at the opening. Does he have anything else on his agenda? How are the acoustics, Mr. Kreutzer?
Average. I wouldn't have expected anything else from a big stone cavern.
How does it feel to have been accused of murder and to escape by the skin of your teeth? The whole thing could have had a bad ending for you. You didn't have an alibi. It was your gun.
I must admit that I can imagine better ways to spend my time than being roughed up by Inspector Legrand. Your snooping actually paid off for me this time. Did you ever suspect me?
Of murder? No. I think you're too intelligent to shoot someone with your own gun without arranging an alibi for the time of the crime. It seems like a lot of the passengers from the ship are here this morning.
Nearly all of them. I had a brief conversation with the Baroness's butler. Between you and I, he seems quite happy to be rid of the old battleship.
Mr. Kreutzer.
Young Miss Mayers was here as well. Unfortunately, it seems like she's already disappeared again.
Forget it. She's engaged.
And the old witch with her caretaker and her brat are also here.
What do you have against Lady Westmacott?
The lady is more callous than the Queen of the Night. She chased her own son away. Ice cold. I met him briefly. Flew to America because he couldn't stand her anymore.
Did any of the guests behave suspiciously? Was anyone unusually interested in the treasure chamber or the security system?
I couldn't say. I'm here to check the acoustics and then I'll come back for the gala tonight. I'm not interested in your detective games.
The newspaper this morning is full of reports about the events on board.
I've seen them.
Someone must have informed the press directly from the ship. He probably got a pile of money for the story, don't you think?
And again, they want to ruin my reputation. But no, Constable, it wasn't me. I didn't even consider it. And whoever did it was a bungler.
Why?
The story is in all the papers. You get more money if you sell the dirt to just one paper, as an exclusive.
Who do you think it was?
The young guy? The stowaway?
The captain didn't press charges and let him go this morning. But up until then, he was in the cell the whole time.
Perhaps Miss Mayers. Maybe she wants to become an actress and needs a bit of publicity.
Whoever it was, they wanted to make sure that the story spread, and they weren't after money. So, what were they after? Well, I'm looking forward to the concert.
It will be an unforgettable night.
Nice. So much dialogue.
Kreutzer would be on the other. I can't read what it says, but the cover features a dashing picture of Legrand. It shows an energetic young man photographed from beneath, against the sky. That's the look of a man who can catch a thief and murderer in a single day.
Is this a puzzle game? It's just a detective game, so think of like Sherlock Holmes type of thing. This is the third stream, so you've missed quite a bit. The first part was when there was on a train, my character, the constable in the middle, was just on the train as part of his job, and at the same time there's a jewel being carried like in a safe, and somebody stole it. It's just a detective game, really.
I don't believe that Legrand spoke to the press himself. He doesn't seem to like the attention, and he wouldn't falsely take credit for something he hadn't done.
Yeah, I've had it for a little while, and I thought, well, it's good. It's kind of a chilled pace, so I like to play a variety as well. Speak to. Look, he's actually inside him. Look at that. Check this.
Ancient Egyptian jewelry. I like that golden signet ring with a scarab made of jasper. In ancient Egypt, these beetles were regarded as symbols of fertility. Nowadays, we just call them dung beetles. I suppose the beetles don't really care.
See if I ever missed anything.
Well-trained guards are usually the best security system, although they didn't manage to stop the Raven in London. That must be the treasure chamber where the Eye of the Sphinx is due to be exhibited. The display case is already prepared. The gala will be well-trained. The gala...
Okay.
Exclusive and unique. The Eyes of the Sphinx, exhibited together for the first time ever. Hopefully the visitors will be satisfied with a single eye. Otherwise, all this effort will be for nothing. Unfortunately, now it's just the Eye of the Sphinx. But it's a bit too late to change the banner.
Yeah, because one of the other exhibits for this was the jewel that was stolen on the train. So I can't stay, have fun, stream Vortex. Hey, thanks for stopping by, Kev. It's always, it's always a pleasure. Catch you later.
Well...
No, sir.
I'm from the Swiss police. I want to check the security arrangements.
No one may enter the treasure chamber before the delivery has arrived.
I don't know. It could be Connor, it could be Kev. I don't know. I have no idea. I'll have to check the followers. Oh yeah, so I say thanks for stopping by anyway. Where do I have to go? Can't go there. Can I go this way? Nope. Oh yeah, true. That's. Hey, get good, Connor. Get good. Okay, so where's next? Let's go this way. Okay, here we go. And the smiley face. Fair enough, I should have noticed. Let's go this way.
Ah, I've heard of this. Desert glass. In the great sand sea of the Libyan desert, there's a region where natural glass is found. Nobody knows how it formed. The valuable material was often used for jewelry in ancient Egypt. Several daggers in a row. The shapes and patterns look timeless, elegant. What does it say here? The dagger on the left is a replica of the dagger from the tomb of Tutankhamun. It must have been incredibly precious during his lifetime because it's made of iron. Thousands of years before the Ice Age, meteorites were the only source of pure iron. So a star that fell from the sky, bringing a substance that's harder than anything they'd known before, would have been a dramatic event. No wonder they used it to forge a weapon for the godlike pharaoh.
Fair enough.
Aha! This shows how the ancient Egyptians were able to move the heavy blocks of stone to build their pyramids and temples. They used ropes, wooden sleds, and poles as levers. These exhibits aren't originals, of course. They're reconstructed, based on old pictures. Nonetheless, it's impressive how they managed to build monuments like the pyramids with such simple tools.
Anything else? It's her there, but I'll speak to her in a second.
This is Akhenaten, the only pharaoh whose portrait I always recognize. He has a very unusual head. Akhenaten was the husband of Nefertiti and the father of Tutankhamun, a famous family. But he went down in history as the pharaoh who wanted to eliminate the old gods and replace them with a single god. The priests took offense, and he died of unknown causes. A figure of Imhotep, who comes in peace from around 2700 BC. The first polymath known by name. Godfather of medicine, architect of the first pyramids, and according to legend, the inventor of Egyptian writing. He certainly achieved more than me in his life.
Some of these names, rats, are in the Lara Croft game, I think. I want to see the mummy. Yeah, great film.
He was a legend. The Greeks called him a god. The Romans still honored him 3,000 years after his death. Even today, scholars offer a drop of ink to Imhotep when they begin a new project. Really impressive.
What's that achievement pop-up?
Impressive, isn't it? Thousands of years old and still beautiful.
That it is. They dug it out of the sand near Thebes over 50 years ago. I was there.
Really?
I met my husband there. He was an assistant on the dig. and was ordered by the director of the excavation to take care of that writer. I financed many excavations in the following years, here in Egypt and in the Near East. I visited my husband, together with our son. It was the best time of my life. But a museum is no place for nostalgia. What can I do for you?
You've had a long and successful life, Lady Westmacott.
What's that supposed to mean, Mr. Zellner? That I should be ready to leave the stage? Because I'm not.
Oh, I didn't want...
I'm here because life is here, Constable. Or was. I have never lived as much as I have here. No fame, no money can buy that.
I understand.
I'm sorry, Constable Zellner. Such an outburst isn't fitting for a woman of my age, and an English woman at that. Let's talk about something else.
Your son. You haven't said much about him. Or perhaps you did, just not by name.
You're an attentive listener, Mr. Zellner.
I was wondering why you knew so much about Miss Miller's unhappy marriage.
I stopped paying his bar tabs, stopped paying reporters to hush things up. He got to know her and went with her to America to start a new life. You can change your name easily, but not who you really are. He has my eyes, doesn't he?
The Part 2 novel is for him, isn't it?
If I couldn't provide Matthew with a good father, then at least I can provide him with a good start in life.
When I was working on the ship, I felt like one of the detectives in your novels.
You were lucky. It was an unusual murder. Most murders happen in the heat of the moment or are committed by idiots. They're uninspired. But Gebhardt thought it through. He could have succeeded.
I don't know. He made too many mistakes.
He couldn't have known that the Baroness, almost unconscious from the drugs, would lock her cabin door.
But that was a risk. The plan was too complicated and sloppily executed.
You certainly are a harsh critic, Mr. Zellner.
He could have shot her on the side deck and thrown the weapon into the sea. With no witnesses, no one would have suspected him.
How boring.
Or if it had to be a complicated plan, then he should have worked more carefully. Should have thought of everything, had a plan B in place.
Maybe he didn't have enough time. He had only a few hours to plan and commit the murder.
Still, he should have covered his tracks more carefully. The audio tape, the bloody glove, none of that should have stayed in the medical center. Do you think that Dr. Gebhardt was the Raven?
Was? Do you think he's dead?
The letter sounded like he committed suicide.
There's your answer. Does that sound like the Raven? Being unmasked? Taking the easy way out?
My sentiments exactly. The Raven wouldn't commit murder, get caught, and then jump into the sea.
You don't want everything to be over, do you?
It's my chance to do something great. It can't be over yet.
At least you solved the murder of the Baroness. You're a hero.
That's not how the newspapers see it. Nor I. Something's missing. I can achieve more.
Careful, Constable. He who flies too close to the sun...
Is that the myth of Icarus?
To be honest, no. The story is Greek, and was only written down 1,000 years later. I was counting on the dramatic effect.
Oh, worked well enough. Let's assume that the thief is still out there. Who is he?
If all this were a novel, then it would be the one you least expect.
Is that intended to be a confession, Lady Westmacott?
What do we know about the new Raven?
He's a man who would stop at nothing.
Must it be a man? And how do we know that it's just one person? There could be several people collectively pretending to be the Raven.
So, we don't know anything.
I think it's more than one person.
We know
Indeed,
that he or she wants the eye
I
of the
think it's
Sphinx,
Dr. Gebhardt and
will
someone
probably
else.
strike here, assuming he or she hasn't already gone.
It may be the end of the story for me, Lady Westmacott. Inspector Legrand will arrive soon and send me to the hotel. I'll return tonight for the gala. hoping all the while that the Raven does dare to attempt a burglary. Tomorrow morning, I'll have to return to Switzerland. What an unsatisfactory ending that would be.
It wouldn't be a triumphant ending, but it could be worse. At least you'd still be alive, Constable.
Will you attend the gala tonight, Lady Westmacott?
But of course, the antiquities, the delightful atmosphere. And who knows, perhaps there will be another spectacular burglary.
And your cruise?
The ship doesn't leave until tomorrow. And believe me, I'd cancel the cruise for this.
As always, it was an entertaining and enlightening chat, Lady Westmacott.
I'm going to miss our little chats, Constable Zellner. Goodbye.
She's reliving.
There should have been a different chat section then, because I've got this guide next to me. And it never came up.
Ahoy, Matt.
The statue was talking.
The statue was talking?
Yes.
And what did it say?
It said it was...
That's a very bad word.
I know.
And an English one. Don't you think it's odd that an old Egyptian statue speaks English?
Don't you think it's odd that a statue speaks at all?
That would have been my next question. And, is the statue talking to you right now?
Do you think I'm nuts?
No, of course not. I just thought you might have much better ears than me. Ears that can hear statues.
Some cop you are, Mr. Zellner. This is a mystery, and you're just making jokes.
You're right. It's just...
Don't you believe me?
We both agree that a stone statue without a mouth or vocal cords cannot speak, right?
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Okay, that means you heard something else. And we have to find out what or who it was.
Roger.
Hey, Rockin, grüß dich, servus, moin, guten Tag, guten Abend, and holla, buongiorno, salut, bonjour, and I've run out of words. Welcome. Hello, Nile Cruise.
I'm almost a bit envious of you. Going up the Nile on a ship, it must be great.
Yeah, I guess.
You don't sound so keen.
I think my mom wants the professor to come too.
And you don't? You can't tell me.
What if Mom marries the professor and doesn't work with the lady anymore? We'd have to move to London, and I'd have to go to a new school.
You like your life as it is, and you don't want to change a thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But have you ever thought about whether your mother is happy? The world doesn't revolve around you, you know. If you're unhappy, you have to do something. Sometimes you have to take a chance. And in that case, you need all the help you can get.
Do you mean Mom isn't happy?
I don't know. What do you think?
This will all be over soon.
Then
Then I'll finally have time for you.
We wanted to head back to the hotel.
Certainly. And tonight at the gala, I'll show you around the museum, okay? And have you made up your mind about the cruise?
Well, I don't really know.
There he is, Inspector Stander.
Oh, come on, Mom. Who could teach us more about Egypt than the professor?
Then it's settled.
I didn't expect you to say that.
Well, Mom, sometimes you have to take a chance.
There's Ronald Weasley, as Strongbow calls him.
Well, who wants ice cream?
Me! Actually, Mr. Zellner still owes me some.
At least the constable's got the proper moustache. Yeah, welcome everyone. Inspector Hestander. He's got the proper moustache. You've got to have that moustache if you're a detective. I think it's this way. Wait, another inspector, or is it the real Hestander? I don't know. Let's have a look. I don't know. There could be two Hestanders.
The statue is too heavy to move, and I don't see any gaps or cracks in the wall. I don't think I'll find anything here.
Anything else? I think that's it. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have a moustache. If I had a moustache like him, I'd kind of stand out a bit. I need a Hestander moustache. Then I can say ja genau. This way. Then it's not an inspector anyway. Now I can take a look at this game. Ja genau. Yeah, at least you've seen it. It's to say it's called The Raven. This is the remastered version. There is an original. I don't really know the difference because in the graphic settings there isn't really anything. That's it. It's already on high, 1080p, VSync on, blah 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 blah. Subtitles are on, and that's it. That's it.
A great moment, Professor Lucien. Your key, please.
I bet you.
Yes. Well.
They probably opened it and it's
Come
missing.
on, Professor.
But you have to realize that.
Thank you.
Here we go. Let's see if the jewels are in there.
Finally. What?
Professor?
I wanted to give you this.
Oh, what's that?
Well, after the burglary in London, I thought the Eye might not be safe on its way to Egypt. So I secretly took it when I was supposed to place it in the safe in London.
Oh, Quacko,
I
welcome.
felt that I should leave the jewel to someone I trusted completely. Myself.
But the jewel was safe. From London to here, no one had an opportunity to steal it.
I beg your pardon, my dear colleague. But if that were true, I wouldn't have had it.
Congratulations, Professor Lucien. You fooled everyone, it seems. The honor is yours.
Well, that's that. Shall I explain the security system to you, Inspector?
The French ambassador summoned me. I have to get in touch with him. The press is besieging the embassy, and I have to answer their questions.
But you absolutely must come tonight.
Welcome,
the opening of the exhibition will be the highlight of the year.
Alpha,
and you
Alpha and
are my
Omega
special
combined.
guest.
I will see what I can do.
You want too
Jelna,
much caffeine.
will you have a look at the security precautions? We'll see each other tonight.
Of course, but...
Wait, Inspector. I'll join you.
Well, here we are. The inspector will answer the reporter's questions for the next few hours. And well...
I won't take up too much of your time. I'll take a look around and then go lie down so that I'm ready for tonight.
Yeah, V-Sync is short for vertical sync. So V-Sync locks your monitor to... It locks the frame rate to what your monitor can do. That's what V-Sync is. Hey, Trish. Welcome. Hey, thanks for the host, Mr. Strongbow. Good to see all the legends here. Yeah, guten Abend, Trish, guten Abend. Hello, you guys, Schnecker. Yeah, welcome everyone. It's good to see all the legends here. Welcome. Let's speak with Mokhtar, if I can.
What's in the other display cases?
Other valuable originals. The eyes of the Sphinx would have been the highlights of our exhibition. Now that we only have one left, it doesn't really outshine the other valuables anymore. This room is full of world-class treasures.
How is the display case protected?
It's made of bulletproof glass that's several centimeters thick. You'd need heavy machinery to open it, but even the smallest disturbance of the display case will set off the alarm.
Doesn't look half bad. A glass cutter wouldn't be much use. Is the display case anchored to the floor?
Why do you ask?
The Raven once stole a whole display case in St. Petersburg instead of just taking the jewels out of it.
Such an attempt would fail here. The display case is bolted to the floor and weighs several 100 kilograms.
Okay, nice. Sun is lurking, yeah.
Many people picture a stone coffin when they hear the word sarcophagus, but this one is wooden. As usual, an ornamental representation of the deceased is painted on the outside in gold and other colors.
Anything else?
What's that? A camera?
The latest model. It's called...
I've heard about that. The images are recorded and can be viewed again later.
Plans of building a super weapon.
Images from all three cameras are recorded in the guard room.
Wow.
As I've said, we've spared no effort and no expense.
There must be something else I can do. According to my walkthrough guide, I'm supposed to talk to him, but I can't. Time machine. And the time machine. Fair enough. I need to get a jump, it's cold. Okay, Trish. And fucking... Oh, there's a travelling time. Yeah, be good. And hello, Frau Laffel. Welcome, guys. I think that's it. That's the one. I think I've already typed that before. SB fucking flans, boys. Especially the picture with the socks. You know the one. Anything else? That's it. I think that's it. Dum dum dum.
This here, the gate. How does it work?
If the alarm is set off, the metal gate descends. The same thing happens at the windows and the main entrance. The thief is trapped like a rat.
As are we.
Next, I'll show you our guard room, the heart of the whole security system. And after that, I'll have to excuse myself.
Alert the guards. Then call the French embassy. Legrand needs to come. We're being locked out.
That will be strong, bro. I will. Hey, welcome back, Trish.
Here, have a seat and try to calm down.
Shock, the Raven is here again. Actually, because my PC's on, I'm not too bad. I'm only in a t-shirt because it's warm enough.
Director Mokhtar?
Yes, swap some heat for some
Director,
cold.
how can I open the metal gate?
He shouldn't have done that.
Director.
All the artifacts in the treasure chamber. He destroyed them.
And I will bring him to justice. But first, I have to get inside.
Yeah, my PC's my heat at the moment. Because I have my PC on the floor. I can feel the heat coming out of it, so...
He's pale and shaking, probably in shock.
Heat.
Perhaps I'll get something out of him in a couple of minutes.
Blows cold.
He's pale and shaking, probably in shock. Perhaps I'll get something out of him in a couple of minutes.
Okay, anything else? Let's check the gate.
That bloody bomber. I mean, the chamber was filled with irreplaceable treasures. The gate is massive. I can't open it myself.
Well, yeah, I prefer a balance tank. I think with it being cooler to heat, if you're cold you can heat up, but if you're too hot, it's harder to cool. He's mean and he won't put the heating on. He's mean. I haven't got the heating on. I know what you mean though, Trish. He's so mean. Mr. T's OP. What are you going on about? Strong, bro. Oh, good. I think that's it for this bit. So yeah, one day we're gonna find out who the Raven is.
He's pale and shaking, probably, and perhaps I'll get...
This should be a good thing to if we find out who it is. I mean, when it's cold, just dress more clothes. Yeah, just put more on. Yep. Ja. Still.
Constable Oliver!
Don't move!
This Constable Oliver needs to get good.
What did you do?
I didn't do anything. But I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna arrest you.
Put the pistol away.
Oh, you'd like that, wouldn't you?
Robert, be sensible.
Shut it!
Is he dead?
Just unconscious. Perhaps he can tell us who knocked him out.
Excellent.
Don't act all innocent. It was you.
I was in the treasure chamber with the director. You, on the other hand, had every opportunity to take the guard out.
I found him unconscious. I wanted to open the gates.
And make it easier for the Raven to escape?
That does it. On the floor. Hands behind your head.
Why aren't you in the embassy with Inspector Legrand talking to the press?
What are you talking about? Legrand refused to do it.
What?
He told the ambassador that he'd rather walk through the desert for 40 years than give interviews for 40 minutes.
We have to open the treasure chamber's gate. I suspect there's a secret entrance.
No. We should open the main entrance and call for help.
Robert, think. The Raven is inside the museum, and so are we. We could catch him, but we have to give chase immediately. The two of us can finish it here and now.
You just want to confuse me.
Robert, I don't think you knocked this man out, but neither did I. I was with the director the entire time. Ask him.
That doesn't mean you aren't involved somehow. You could be working with the Raven.
So could you. We can suspect each other, open the exits, and offer the Raven every possible escape route. Or we can bring him to justice right here, right now.
No, okay. But just get this straight. I don't trust you. I'll keep an eye on you, and if you try to get away...
Understood. I'll try to open the gate to the treasure chamber now. I'd appreciate it if you'd refrain from accidentally shooting me.
No tricks, Zelna. And if we don't find anything in the treasure chamber, we'll open the gate at the main entrance and call Inspector Legrand.
Of course.
I don't trust Oliver. So shady.
Constable Oliver, he must realize, although I'll grin, and if a monitor, probably for viewing the security cameras. There are 5 buttons down here, 3 of them labeled.
Still wearing my Christmas
Camera
jumpers
1.
next week. I don't care what nobody says. It's nearly
Camera
Christmas.
2.
No, it's not.
Camera 3. This should be the one in the treasure chamber. As I expected, it didn't survive the explosion. All right, how do I... Fantastic. That's me, with the director. Now it's getting exciting. What on earth?
You
damaged it. No, I didn't. Someone must have turned the camera off. Or... No, it's still recording, but something's covering the lens. There. That was the explosion. Interesting.
Why is it interesting?
Someone was in the treasure chamber, and they disabled the camera.
And?
And, just a few minutes later, the alarm went off and everything blew up. The burglar hardly had time to prepare a targeted explosion, right? One more reason to go and see what happened in the treasure chamber.
I mean, all the Christmas items are available. True. So weird. Look, the part it out with the Crimbo stuff. Crimbo. If you don't know what Crimbo is Christmas, put me on a shelf. Boom. Buying for $9.99 in the weekly magazine. What the hell? Let's have a look. Go to the phone.
Dead.
SB has lost it.
We can't call for help. The line's dead. Does the alarm system call the police automatically? If not, or if it was also disconnected, I'm not sure that anyone out there knows what's happening inside the museum. I guess no one heard the explosion from outside. The treasure chamber doesn't have any windows, and the metal gates that came down could just be part of a test. We can't call for help. If not, I get... Maybe someone stirred something into the coffee and poisoned him with it. But the bump on the back of his head would indicate otherwise.
If it's a coffee machine, wonder if he had a latte. Guy or... I think that's it.
What are you doing?
I was looking for this. I think he's okay. After we've checked the treasure chamber, we should call an ambulance.
Keychain. It says I'm meant to interrogate the guard. Guy or... I can't say it like Hank. Hank's the best. And holy moly. I can't say holy moly like him. It says he might walk through to question him, but he's like unconscious.
Where do you think you're going?
I'm searching for a way into the treasure chamber, which is exactly what you should be doing.
I'll give you 5 minutes. Then we'll follow my plan. Open the main entrance and call for backup.
Let's hope for both our sakes that I find a way into the treasure chamber before then. I don't want to be responsible for the escape of the Raven.
Let's see if we can... I'm supposed to interrogate that guy in there. Supposed to. Obviously not yet. See, there's no command.
Locked.
Unlocked.
Blueprints for a museum. Every gate seems to be controlled by its own switch. This should be the gate for the treasure chamber. That's it. There's nothing more I can do here.
Nice guy or GG. Hopefully it's a GG.
Director Mokhtar, I can't open the gate. Is there another way into the treasure chamber?
No. Only one way. Only one.
The director won't help me. Whether I want to or not, I have to stick with the constable. Do you have any idea how we can open the gate?
We've got to open the main gate and call for backup.
No. You gave me 5 minutes and my time isn't up yet. The clock is... The lamp... On the other hand...
Yeah, you're not going to live that.
If you would be so kind. No, that won't work.
You have to be
I
like
could
the
have told
Hulk.
you that.
You have to be like the Hulk to do that. I think there's a secret way into this section. I think. Check one more thing. Otherwise I think I have to go towards the camera. I think. Let's double check.
We can't call for... If not, or I guess no...
So nothing there. Okay, so that's that bit.
The explosion, but made...
Think. See, underneath, so there's a gap. I think you might have to force it back. Hey, welcome back, Croco. Might have to force the gate up. Can't see anything else. Yep. Pishta. What do you mean? What do you mean by Pishta? Esbri Budoda. Okay. Let's check this. Oh, okay. Fishta. Okay, yes, me. Crazy guy.
Locked.
He was locked. Hey, welcome back, Shin.
It fits.
Of course it fits. You've got the museum keys. Here we go. Hey Shinj, my man. Welcome back. Shinj Hardy, my doppelganger.
Constable?
Here we go.
It's moving. No, not quite there yet.
Maybe the director will help us. I would be so lost. Yeah. That's what walkthroughs are for.
The director won't help me. Whether I want to or not, I have to stick with the constable.
Nothing for Hank. Okay. Trying to think. I think I'm missing something. I think I need something stronger. Help. Alt Alt-F4. That's one way of solving it. It reminds me of the game Gabriel Knight. I don't know that one, Shinj. No, speech Control Alt and Delete. Yep, nice. All the shortcuts. What are you trying to do? I think I'm trying to get something that gives me more leverage to get through that gate. But I'm using a walkthrough guide. Yeah, the escape button as well. SP. I'm using a walkthrough, but I think whoever made it wasn't English, because it's kind of off in some parts. Have you tried deleting System 32? Yep. All the ways to optimize performance and making Windows obsolete. Well, to start up. Yeah, I think I've got everything. I got what was needed from there. There's nothing there. I've still got keys to unlock things. Have you tried reinstalling a fresh operator? Have you tried turning it on and off again? Oh, those are all like the standard things when you call like support services. Yeah, I can't see anything here. Needs a new PC to carry on with the game. Yeah, I'm glad it works, because when I turned my PC on earlier, I had no internet.
This security gate is also closed. Once the alarm went off...
Okay.
I'll leave the gate...
Okay. I've seen one episode of the It Crowd. I understand the theory. Nothing there. Yeah, I don't know that number. I'll take it that's part of the show. See crocodiles. Nothing there.
The clock is ticking. The director won't help me.
So I need to do something
The
here.
explosion wasn't... but maybe...
Use the wooden pole combined with something else. See, I can't pick the guys.
We were almost able to open the gate with a lever, but not all the way.
Watch it, Foreman. Okay. What's it about the It Crowd? They're quite nerdy people, but I think Croco would probably explain it the best. I'm trying to think. Well, I must be missing something. I think I'm missing something. Okay, Trish. Yeah, so the guide I'm using, it's on a site called GamePressure.com. It's not fully, there's screenshots and things like that, but it's not perfect. I'm trying to follow what they've wrote. He says I have to use a flagstaff and a metal pipe, another pipe. Which recommends the director a metal gate. Yeah, true. It is a metal gate. Metal lie there. I think I must be missing something.
The explode, but maybe.
It's super funny, Mama. I'm probably missing like what? I'm missing like one thing somewhere. Still got keys to use. Sorry guys for struggling a bit. I'm sure there's something. I'm sure there's probably something in here I can use. I'm going to finish Peaky Blinders tonight, so I need a new series to watch. Nice. Watch the doctor. You need help from the dudes. Yeah, I thought so, but I don't know how to do that. I'm sure I need. Let's go back up. Yeah, I want to see the Joker film. That's meant to be pretty good.
The clock.
So you can look at them.
The director won't. The explosion wasn't strong in, but maybe.
See, I can't click on anything.
We were almost able to open the gate with a lever, but not all the way.
See, use the wooden pole combined with something, and now I can examine the gate. And now I can look at the people. Trash can. I think there's another piece of metal shinge somewhere that you have to combine. Basically, I think then with their help, you can lever it up. That's what the guide says, but it says using the flagstaff, which makes no sense. Okay, Shinji, yeah, I'm waiting. So all I've got on me is just the keys, the keychain, and that's it. Shinji, don't call Rayman a trash can. Oh god, you guys. So yeah, if you got any advice, I'm all ears. That's what I presume I need to do, is to find a piece of metal that can leverage the pole, and then I get those two guys to help me get in. That's what I presume I have to do. Where the big wooden doors, and there's a big flagpole on the floor, the big wooden doors. I think that's the one. That's so hard to see. I think you could be right.
That might help.
Okay, Trish. I'll have a look at that, Trish, if this doesn't solve it.
All right. It has to work. Constable Oliver, could you lend me a hand?
This might be it. The Joker movie will be awesome. Yeah, definitely. It shows like his path into like madness.
1, 2, 3. Director Mokhtar, hurry! Put something under the gate.
Huh?
Director.
Here we go. Thanks Shinji, I think that's it.
No luck.
It won't open any further.
Put it down, quick! That'll hold it.
I wouldn't bet on it. We should hurry.
And inform
Hey, thanks for the GG, thanks Shinji.
First,
thanks,
I'll
Trish.
get an overview of the situation.
You don't think I'm going to leave you all alone with a jewel, do you?
I doubt that the jewel is still in the treasure chamber.
But how?
Oh yeah,
I'll be
Pennywise
watching
on
you.
it.
Then you'll have to come with me.
There's some
If
keys.
you haven't
I've got
heard
some
anything
keys.
from me in 5 minutes, me, not Constable Zellner, then open the entrance and call for help. Understood?
Okay.
Nice. Thanks, guys. Dun dun dun. Holy moly! What a mess.
Whoa, indeed.
Holy moly. Fun fact, I live near the house it was filmed in. Oh, nice. Fair play. The Hanky's a friendly clown. No, he's holy mo. Look at that. Like proper holy moly.
Let's hope that at least some of the artifacts withstood the explosion. Why didn't he just drive through the wall with a tank? Reckless ignoramus. The remains of the cordon. Give me some light. Fortunately, the ceiling is quite high, and the gate was still ajar. Otherwise, nothing in this room would have survived the shockwave.
Yeah, be careful, Shinj. I'll have to check that. I keep my paper boats away from the storm drains, fair enough.
It will take a long time to clean and restore everything, and some things are surely lost forever.
You don't want to go down there, do you?
That's how the eye
really old
left the
house
treasure
that made it
chamber.
look extra creepy. Okay,
no way.
Shinj.
We've seen enough. The Raven is gone. We need to get Legrand.
Too late.
You happy now?
You could say that. Will you give me some light?
I think I need him to...
Come on, I can't see.
I think
There's
I'm going
the
to need
display
him
case.
to lower me down, I think.
I can't tell.
Hello?
I hope you don't expect anyone to answer you. The floor of the basement is almost 4 meters below us and covered in rubble. Jumping would be too dangerous. I have to find a way to get down safely. The floor of the basement is almost 4 meters below us and covered in rubble. Jumping would be too dangerous. I have to... The floor of the...
I think I need him to lower me down.
What do you think about this?
It's a right mess.
You can say that again. Okay then. So what do we do now?
Gee, I need access to the souvenir Shinj. When he passes by, I can say, they float, Shinj, they float. And when you're down here with me, you float too. What the hell, crack?
The clasps aren't really made for heavy weights, but I think they're strong enough. I have the floor... Constable?
Yeah?
Here we go.
Would you give me your flashlight?
You can't seriously expect me to say yes?
No, not really. So at least give me a bit of light.
Pennywise's balloon. I like balloons. Sure.
This explosion was much more intense than the one in London, wasn't it?
You can say that again. Imagine what would have happened if the bomb had gone off tonight.
He didn't risk it. We must have made him nervous.
He couldn't have chosen a better time. Legrand isn't here. There are only a couple of guards and almost no witnesses.
Still, I would have thought he'd wait. Remember the train? Our opponent has a penchant for drama. He's vain and wants as much publicity as possible.
Even vain people don't want to go to jail.
True enough.
I've never seen the film, so...
It seems like the question of backup has been settled. We can't open the door from the inside.
The director will surely contact Legrand. He'll be outside the door with a full squad in no time.
I wouldn't bet on it. The thief was in the guard room and knocked out the guard. What was he up to there? He didn't disable the alarm. Maybe the phone lines.
Someone will notice the metal shutters on the windows.
Sooner or later, sure. Until they do, we have time to solve the case. I let myself down into the hole with the rope.
You can't be serious.
This isn't a matter for discussion. I'm going down there. You can join me or stay here.
But
you will float
you don't know what or who.
The book was really messed up. I've never read it.
That's why I want to go down there. Besides, maybe I'll find an escape route for us.
All right then. Should I hold the rope?
Okay then. So what do we do now? Yes, thanks. I'm down. Give me some light, Robert.
Here we go.
Shine the light over there, please. There's a date in the corner. Shine the light over there, please. Interesting. Documents, maps, letters, all of them at least 20, 30 years old.
Oh, good.
I wonder how the Raven knew about the secret basement. He must have done some research and then paid someone for the missing information. What's that?
Hey, don't go too far away.
Come down and stop me, or stay there and give me some light. Interesting. Some kind of wooden hatch. There are 2 hinges on this side. There's a kind of metal hook holding the hatch closed.
Okay, let's have a look around.
I'm going to examine the display case now. As I expected.
Empty?
Yes. The display case didn't survive the fall. The thief just had to pluck the jewel out. Actually, I thought the display case would survive the fall more or less unscathed. And 3 of the 4 windows did survive. Constable, light! I'm the talking statue. I really like to teach bad words to the little boys. At least that riddle is solved now. Peepholes. And I suspect, yes. The Raven couldn't have gone this way. We'd have seen him and he couldn't have closed the bolt from outside. There must be another entrance.
Why is it suddenly so bright down there?
I found the light switch.
Can I be a Pennywise if you want to, Crook? I like these kind of point-and-click games. If you like this one, you'll like Gabriel Knight. I'll have to check that one, Shinj. What about Gemini Rue? I don't know that one. Carmen San Diego is a good game. I don't know that game either. Just give me a second, guys. I'm just going to put the light on. See, I'm back. I'll have to check those. But yeah, I don't mind point-and-click games. Thanks for the welcome back. Oh, you like the music? That's fine, I've got to see what I've got to do next. director's probably going to think, how the hell did you get out? Thanks for the welcome back. Boom.
What are you doing here? You were just...
I found another exit.
The eye?
Gone. The Raven blasted a hole in the floor of the treasure chamber. There's a hidden basement beneath it.
And the other treasures?
It doesn't look good.
Oh, no.
Director Mokhtar?
Isn't it about time to open the gates?
I don't believe that the police have arrived yet. We can't risk giving the Raven a means of escape.
That monster is surely long gone by now.
Perhaps not. I have a lead.
Do your best. As soon as the police have surrounded the building, I'll open the gates.
Very well, Director.
The walkthrough says the second exit.
The basement below the treasure chamber. Did you know about it?
I had no idea.
There are maps and drawings from the Second World War in the room. Why?
Well, it may have had something to do with the resistance.
Resistance?
Egypt was occupied by the British. There was a movement for independence.
The Egyptians collaborated with the Nazis?
No, but the enemy of my enemy.
So, the rebels reported information to the Nazis, and for that, they needed secret command posts.
Yes, and what would be of more symbolic importance than the Egyptian Museum, witness to 5,000 years of Egyptian independence?
Hidden rooms? Secret basements? What are they doing here?
The museum was built in 1900 by a Frenchman who had a penchant for such things.
Mystical torchlight ceremonies celebrating the builders of old? Freemasons? Things like that?
Many great buildings have complicated histories.
And today, we're going to write a new chapter. It's going to be okay. Wait here.
Where is the constable, anyway?
He's guarding the treasure chamber.
He told me to call for backup if he doesn't come back in about 5 minutes. And that I shouldn't trust you.
Don't bet on the wrong horse, don't get held up.
You won't stop me. Someone raised your museum to the ground and done your best shot at putting a stop to that someone.
Ha!
Ha. Okay.
I'd better...
We have to go back. I think we have to go back. These guides like all over the place.
Zelna, is that you?
It is I, the Raven.
Did you find an exit?
No, I'm still looking. The basement is quite large.
Okay, don't go too far away.
Okay. Let's go this way.
There are cracks in the wall and scuff marks on the floor.
How can he see
A
that?
secret door?
And probably the Raven's escape route.
Can you open it?
How can he even see?
There are several panels and kind of a handle, but I can't turn or pull or push it. Something's written here, but it's too dark. Hurry down with the light.
No, the Raven is trapped. We should call Legrand.
I have to go. See you, thanks for the time, enjoy everyone. Hey, no worries Hank, catch you later. I'm probably going to finish in a few minutes anyway, I think.
Do you think this door leads to a dead end? With every minute we hesitate, the Raven's trail is getting colder.
But we should take it one step at a time. We're alone and the Raven is dangerous.
What would Nicholas Legrand do in this situation? Would he wait for backup and twiddle his thumbs, or would he act?
Oh, blast.
We can't rely on the others, Robert. You and I, we'll catch the Raven.
I might have believed you once. He's too smart for us, Zelna. He's better than us. You have to accept that.
Should we just give up? Come on, Robert. You can't be serious.
Okay, here's what we do. I'll hand you the lamp and you open the door. Then we guard the door and wait for backup.
I couldn't have put it better myself.
Right. Catch, but hurry. I don't want to think about the fact that I'm standing here in the dark surrounded by mummies.
That's better.
Nice. Before I do that, I want to check something.
The museum still has plenty to offer, despite the senseless destruction in the treasure chamber. The museum still... The lids depict various...
Okay, so I think that's that. Because I think basically you get points for everything. It's in the top corner. Let's go back. So yeah guys, I'm probably going to finish in... I think I maybe go for another 10 minutes.
That is interesting. 4 discs. An extravagant combination lock. If it was just another language with a Latin alphabet, I might be able to guess the meaning, but I'm lost when it comes to Arabic. I'll write them down. It could be a hint about how to open the door.
Oh. Should I go back? I wanna go back. I don't know what I'm doing. Oh God, I wanna go back and have a look. Will you be free Vortex at about 8 o'clock for like 30 minutes? I could be. If I'm not, I'll let you know. It should be okay. So how do I quit? That's it. I think I need to go to speak to the director to translate the Arabic. I can't say I like him because it's northern slang. I can't say like him. Talk to the director. Hey.
Director Mokhtar?
Yes?
I found this Arabic writing. What does it mean?
It says, the sons of Horus.
And that means?
Is this really the time to discuss history?
It's important.
The sons of Horus played an important part in the burial ritual. 4 sons, 4 canopic jars, vessels in which the liver, lungs, stomach, and intestines of the body were stored.
Are the 4 connected to symbols?
A man, baboon, jackal, and falcon. Look downstairs in the main hall.
Sons of Horus. Vessels and intestines. Got it. Thanks for your help. Don't do anything until I tell you to.
This is my museum, and I'll open the gates as soon as help arrives.
Okay. Let's give us some. I've got to go to the jars on the left.
Must be the canopic jars the director was talking about. 1 jar for each of the 4 sons of Horus.
Yeah. Let's have a look. Let's go left to right.
Here we have Duamutef, stomach. Here we have, the sign says Amset, liver. Hapi, lungs. Quebec-Senuef, intestines. Quebec-Senuef, the sign. Here. The museum still has plenty to offer, despite the senseless destruction in the treasure chamber. Sarcophagus from the Old Kingdom. Unknown ruler. Here we go. On the front, you can see the tutelary deities Amset and Hapi. At a later date, it became traditional to show all 4 sons of Horus on all 4 sides of the sarcophagus. Each son signified a cardinal direction. Hapi, the north, Amset, the south, Quebec-Senuef, the west, and Duamutef, the east. There are actually 2 of the 4 sons of Horus on the front side of the sarcophagus. A man and a monkey.
Okay.
Each son of Horus is associated with a cardinal direction and a symbol. Hapi is the north, Amset is the south, Quebec-Senuef is the west, and Duamutef is the east.
Okay. I think that's it.
Each son of Horus. Hapi is the north. The 4 sons of Horus, Amset, Hapi, Duamutef, and Quebec-Senuef, are children of the god Horus the Elder and the goddess Isis. They are believed to protect canopic jars, which contain the internal organs of people who were mummified in ancient Egypt. As stellar gods, they are associated with the 4 cardinal directions. For that reason, their names were written on the 4 corners of the coffins during the Middle Kingdom period.
Okay.
Each son of from the...
I think that's it. Now I guess we've got to put those cogs, those gears, the right direction. Here we go. It's hard to tell what they are. I think that's that one. I hate puzzles. Puzzles are such a pain. Okay, Rocket. You take care, mate. Catch you later. Gute Nacht, gute Nacht. I think, yeah, when I solve this puzzle, I think I might go and sort myself some dinner out. So I need to get these 4 gears the correct way, but which is the correct way? I've got no idea. I've got no idea. The guide I'm using, I've copied the image before. Get good. Thanks, SB. Don't worry, I will. I'll just Google it. The thing is with this game, it's not a common game. If you need a hand, let me know. Top one is correct, left one is correct. Yeah, I've used the same guide as you, Trish, the one you sent for game pressure. If you need a hand, let me know. Yeah, please, Chinch. I've copied a screenshot. Dog. Yeah, that's what I mean. We both look at the same guide, I think, Trish. Okay, Trish, no worries, love. So, door is right. I've got the puzzle here. So, what have I got wrong? Shinji's been OP. Dog is on the right side. Yeah, but which one? The top. So tell me which one to move. Top, left, right or bottom. Just tell me which thing needs to go upwards for each one. Right needs with the dog facing in. Like that, the jackal. Yeah. Spin the top one once. Yeah. I need to use Shinji's guide because whatever he's looking at is way better than the one I'm using. One more spin on the top. Spin the bottom. Yep. Nice. GG to Shinj. Mr. OP Shinj. I don't know what guide you're using, thanks. I don't know what guide you're using, but it's way better than what I've got. My guide sucks. GG. Yeah, the GG goes to Shinj. It's a Let's Play Online. Ah, okay, fair enough. Yeah, the guide I'm using is for this version, which is the remastered, but it sucks. An online walkthrough, gotcha. Let's go in.
He's up there, Robert. I know that.
That may be. Go into the guard room and open the gates.
Tell the director.
Zelna, don't do it. It's too dangerous.
You can't stop me. Not anymore.
Oh, look at this.
200 steps at least. And a ladder. I'm too old for this.
Mega OP.
Left over from the war, if I had to guess. And why not? So high above the city is the perfect place for a secret radio installation. Must be unbearably hot up here in the summer, but it's bearable at the moment. I'd better leave it off. It'd probably just stir up dust.
So whoever the Raven is, they knew a lot about this place.
An old roof like this must be paradise for pigeons. Seems like there are dozens of them up there. I can't see them, but I can certainly hear them and smell them.
Okay.
The chair is the only object that's not covered with dust. It seems like someone sat on it recently. Handcuffs. Not what I expected. Or someone interrogated here. Huh? The Raven, if I'm not mistaken. Why don't you step into the light?
The other one who's shifty is when that boy was in the museum and he heard a voice through like one of the statues, and he said he had an English voice. The only English person out of everyone, I think, is the Edgar Lucien, the professor. So I think he's shifty. Or not. But the guide telling me to go to Inch.
Mr. Inch.
Amazing. Truly amazing. I thought young Legrand would be my most dangerous opponent, but it seems I should have had more respect for age.
So it's the butler. GG. Nice. Thanks to the GGs. But yeah, so it's always someone you never expect, and he was obviously the Baroness's butler. Holy moly.
Why did you steal the second eye here, and not while it was in transit?
The eye was in the bank in Zurich for a long time, impossible to get at. Then the safe on the ship in Legrand's cabin, too complicated. I heard about the secret basement and found out how the security system worked. I would have preferred to save my performance for the gala this evening, but, well, events demanded a change of schedule, not least because of you, my nosy friend.
And the bomb on the train? Did you want to kill us all?
I knew that Legrand would be hot on my heels after the heist in London. He's a dangerous man, Mr. Zellner. He almost caught me once.
Is that a reason to resort to murder?
It wasn't my only reason. An eye for an eye, Constable Zellner.
What about the murder of the Baroness? Was that also your doing?
The death of the Baroness was never part of the plan. Dr. Gebhardt had a score to settle with her and got in my way.
You didn't care about the key to the safe?
I never wanted to steal the eye out of the safe. I always intended to strike here, in the museum.
What about Gebhardt's confession?
A nice idea, don't you think? It keeps the inspector out of my hair, for a few more hours at least, until everything collapses like a house of cards.
How did you do it? How did you plant the message on the safe in the train? How did you know that Gebhardt killed the Baroness? And the demolition charge below the treasure chamber? How did you manage it all? Even if your arm isn't lame.
Oh, it is, believe me. I needed help, it's true. A messenger boy to replace my arms and legs.
A messenger boy?
Ah, Adil. This could be interesting. He's quite talented, but unreliable. He has a mind of his own plans. Don't you, Adil?
I never wanted blood to be shed, but it's time to make an exception.
Get good, Adil.
He only forgot one thing. I keep things firmly in hand. Always. End of story.
Oof. Holy moly.
I told you not to get off. What if the train had gone without you?
So, you're taking a job as a ship's doctor?
I am excited but nervous too. I'm not exactly a champion swimmer.
If you wind up in the water on board a ship, something's gone terribly wrong.
I think that's it, guys. I'm going to end it now, I think.
What was all that in the museum?
That didn't quite go according to plan, did it? And I hate it when things don't go according to plan.
You nearly
killed them. You let them catch you.
It wasn't my fault. Scotland Yard was there.
If I thought it was your fault, you'd already be bobbing in the River Thames with a bullet in your head. Someone tipped them off. I don't know who, but I'm going to find out. Where is the jewel? Ah, marvelous. But it's just half the set, and stealing the second eye will be more difficult than I'd anticipated.
I think I'll end it there before I press anything. It's probably the best way. Yeah, so yeah, thanks everyone for watching. Thanks Shinj for all your help, and Trish as well for the guide. And yeah, good game. I had no idea it was the butler. Proper like OP. I always thought it was the doctor Gebhardt because he was shifty, and he disappeared off the ship, and now he's back. So that makes no sense. But yeah, I never knew it was the butler. I always thought it could have been the professor. Yeah, bye everyone. Thanks for taking part. You badasses, and yeah, I'll be back soon. Okay, man, have a good one. Enjoy your night. Thanks, I will do. And same goes for you guys and girls. That is all you lovely people. Yeah, take care, everyone, and yeah, I'll be back with this soon, maybe tomorrow, not quite sure, but I'll let you know. Yeah, thanks for watching the... Oh, I can't quit, so... I think I actually have to answer the questions. So I've got no escape button, it won't let me quit.
Why are we meeting here and not in
quit.
Venice like we planned?
London drew more attention than planned. They put Legrand on the case.
Nicholas Legrand?
He's searching the train.
Shouldn't we postpone the plan under these circumstances?
On the contrary, I gave him an anonymous tip.
A tip?
I told him that the train will be robbed.
You don't seriously suggest that we steal the jewel right under Legrand's nose?
Of course, because I'm an idiot.
Ah, okay. So
Our
this
best bet
is
still
basically
Everything
before
is
the
prepared.
first part
Mr.
happened.
X
This
will
is the
provide us
past.
with everything we need. As planned, I'll go to Venice together with the Baroness and board the ship there. You'll do the same, but as surreptitiously as possible.
All right.
And under no circumstances can anyone be permitted to discover our relationship. Understood?
And the rest of the plan is as before?
We just have to get on board the ship.
Then I'll get in the car and we'll meet in Venice.
No, Legrand necessitates a change of plan. You'll go by train as well, and place this envelope on the safe as soon as the train halts in the tunnel. I'll cause a blackout. so that you can sneak past the guard. You won't believe who's guarding the safe. That blasted Bobby from London. If you have any trouble, cave his skull in.
And Legrand?
You take care of the letter, I'll take care of everything else. The most important thing is that no one recognizes you on the train.
And that I don't get caught. What's the purpose of the letter?
That's not your concern.
I'd just like to know whether I'm risking my life for some game of yours, or whether it's worth it.
Any one of my games would be worth your life. You just do what I tell you. Stick the letter on the door of the safe, or leave it on top of it, I don't care. But the letter has to be there as soon as Legrand shows up after the blackout, to make sure everything is in order. Understood?
Yes.
What?
Yes, understood. Hasn't the Baroness grown suspicious?
She's wrapped up in a veil of alcohol, arrogance, and disinterest. Only flattery, gossip, and Belgian chocolate can penetrate it.
Ideal conditions.
I'll be glad to be rid of that old hag. She's my ticket to the most important museums in Europe. But these have been the longest 6 months of my life.
How are the injured guards doing?
How the devil should I know?
You didn't need to do that.
What? Save your bacon?
I'd have made it out on my own.
Oh yes, the poor security guard. It really wasn't necessary. I'm such a naughty boy.
I just don't want anyone to get hurt.
Oh please, please, don't be angry with me. I won't do it again.
I don't know. We have the first eye. And we only just escaped.
Tell me you're not suggesting that we should be satisfied with that? One eye alone is nothing more than an expensive bauble. But both eyes together are a legend. My greatest triumph.
Shouldn't I put the eye somewhere for safekeeping? Just in case Legrand searches our things.
I'll hide the jewel in the Baroness's luggage. I already know where. Legrand won't dare search her belongings, and even then, he'll never be able to open the secret compartment.
Okay, so we'll see each other in Venice.
And not sooner. Here, take your travel documents. We may not have an opportunity to meet in Venice.
Okay, fine. That's the first change of plans so far. Whatever. Looks like I'll be going to Venice by train.
Okay, that's it. One thing though, before I go, is this guy here. He's the stowaway who was on the ship, but nobody recognised him from this section of the game, because the beginning part of this game begins on this train, and I've seen him and the Mr. Inch and the thieves. But there's Dr. Gebhard. And obviously Constable Zelda, and nobody recognises this fella at all. They need to get good, but yeah. So yeah, I'm out, and yeah, thanks for watching everyone. Good game. I'm quite surprised, I never expected it was Inch. But yeah, GG, and yeah. I can pause it now, but yeah, take care everyone, and I'll see you soon.